what's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for Daredevil Born Again Season 2, man. Holy fucking shit, man. What a Season 2, man. I think it's safe to say this is obviously way better than Season 1. I mean, it didn't have to worry about having to, to fix the show while also having to keep, 6 episodes of the original series anyway, 5 episodes, somewhere around that range. This was absolutely incredible, man. And bro, the last few episodes, man, are truly I dare say the last episode is probably my favorite episode of the series. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, you know I was saying that a couple times throughout the series, man, but I think the final one, takes the cake. Especially as a big fan of Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run, seeing some big moments for that getting adapted in live action. Somewhat, not one-to-one, but somewhat, was still pretty fucking cool. So the show stars, of course, Charlie Cox, Deborah and Wool, Michael Gandolfini, I don't know if I'm saying that last name right, I'm probably butchering it. Wilson Bethel, Matthew Lillard, of course, Margarita Levieva, I know I'm saying that wrong. Tony Dalton, John Bernthal, well, not John Bernthal, he's not in this season, at all, which I heard rumors and stuff that he apparently wasn't, but yeah, I can confirm he's not in season 2 in any capacity or even mentioned it, which, like I said, kind of weird, but I'm assuming the Punisher special will kind of explain that stuff. And the plot of season 2 is basically Matt is on the run as a fugitive from Fisk's task force. Now, first off, man, the one thing I taught, obviously the cast is great, man. Charlie is as great as ever. Deborah really gets to shine this season as Karen Page. Really, because she gets a lot, because you guys remember, season 1 she was barely in because of the whole restructuring thing, but here, she's in there from start to finish, as we see her and Matt are an item together. They're dating and whatnot. They love each other, and don't get me wrong, they're great. Their chemistry is great, man. The relationship is good. No complaints from Karen and Matt's relationship. Though I am kind of curious on when is Elektra gonna get brought back in? Are we gonna see her in season 3? Is that when we're finally gonna see Elektra again? Then we're gonna pivot to that. Or are we just gonna stick with Karen for the foreseeable future? I don't know. I would like to see Elektra return somehow. Surely she has to, man. Especially with rumors for season 3, with how this season ends, which we'll obviously get into spoilers discussion. But with how this ends, and of course see what we know about season 3 and some rumors about season 3, there seems like maybe we can get some Elektra. Maybe we'll finally get to see Elektra return. I don't know. To be fair, I don't even know if they even resurrected her again for the second time. I think she got resurrected in Defenders, then died again, but never was resurrected again. Or maybe she was just MIA. I'm not entirely sure what the status of Elektra is currently in the timeline, but that probably would take an entire season just bringing her back, to be fair. So, who knows. But anyway, yeah, man, they're great, though I am kind of curious to see how long this is going to last and how long before Elektra does get injured. But yeah, these two are great, man. And hey, to all the Karen and Matt shippers out there, hey, y'all were eating good this season. Y'all haven't really got much of anything as of late. It's mostly just been Elektra. So shout out to y'all. Y'all got something with this season. This season was for you. But yeah, Charlie is great, is brilliant as always, man. Of course, is Vincent D'Onofrio. Wilson is amazing as Bullseye, as Poindexter. Obviously, his big moment is the episode where we get to see his morning routine, it's American Psycho, and he goes to a diner, gets a banana milkshake, and kills off the task force or whatever. Be like, oh shit, he has a gun. But yeah, Matthew Lillard is great, man. You guys know how much I love Matthew Lillard. I was excited when he was announced to be in the show. He doesn't really do much in the show, if I'm being honest. He's kind of a glorified cameo. Of course, he doesn't really add or anything there. But every time he's on screen, man, hey, I'm happy. I'm always happy to see Matthew Lillard. And then, of course, Vincent D'Onofrio, man. Vincent is brilliant this season. This might be some of his best work as Kingpin this season, especially in 2 specific episodes. The last episode, and I think the second to last episode, or the third to last episode. One of the last couple of episodes, man. If you've seen the season, you know what I'm talking about, man, which Oz will talk about in the spoilers discussion. But yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio, someone get this man an Emmy. That's all I'm going to say as of right now, man. Someone get this man an Emmy. Now, one other thing I also gotta say that I like what this season done. Once again, you can really tell that they're not having to juggle another show. And now, after that, now that the rebuild is complete, everything they can just now focus on making a show rather than having to fix one up and like try and do something new at the same time and juggling it. One thing I really liked with this season that that I appreciated was taking the characters from Born Again season one, the new characters that were in the that were in the original cut of the series before it got reshuffled, before it got reworked into the series that we know today, and actually make them interesting and actually make them cool characters and more well thought, and actually characters I actually got somewhat invested into the show. Not all of them, like there's the PI guy who you guys may remember my first impression review, ends the episode with him having a heart attack seemingly. So I immediately thought they were just gonna kill them all off, get rid of them, and like be like, all right, you people had your fun, dump them, and move on and bring back the original cast for whatever those characters were replacing, and go back to the status quo. But no, they stick around. That dude, he sticks around for the season. He survives the heart attack or whatever it was, a stroke, whatever it was, and he doesn't do much, to be fair, but like he sticks around. We see him a couple more times throughout the series. But the big one for me was obviously Daniel. Now, you guys may remember in my first impressions, in my review for season one, I had mentioned countless times in that video that I couldn't tell if I was actually meant to take this kid seriously or we're all meant to laugh at him. Just from the way he came off, everything, and him being like this fist fanboy and everything, man. I couldn't, and him acting like he's some bad motherfucker. I couldn't, honestly, most of the time I was watching the season, I couldn't tell if I'm supposed to laugh at this kid or actually take him seriously. But with season two, the cool thing with season two is that they give him a lot of screen time and they really flesh him out and make him a well-rounded character that, like, I wasn't wondering if I'm meant to take him as seriously or if he's meant to be a joke. I was just intrigued by his character journey and his growth throughout the series with him and BB. I obviously won't get too deep into spoilers, man, but I was impressed with what they did, and by the end of the season, man, I was definitely invested into his storyline. And, he ended up becoming a really good character in the end of the series, man. So, shout out to the writers for that, man. They did an excellent job taking the character that I had really no attachment to and actually getting me attached and being invested in the storyline for season two. And they did a really good job with him in particular, fleshing him out. So, yeah. He's like the main one, man. Like, there's other characters as well, which we'll talk about Heather later on, and when we get to my negative part section. There's also there's also the other lawyer that Matt was working with that we saw in season one. She's they don't really do much with her. Really, it was Daniel was like the big one from the season one characters that they actually did a lot more with and try to make him make a better character in the end of the series by the end of the series. So yeah, obviously the action is great as always, man. Jessica Jones isn't back in this season, man, which was great to see her again. So it was good to see her, man. The fights were great, man. The choreography was solid and very well shot as well, man. There's some the cinematography for the show is great. There's some really well shot, well shot scenes and like some really well shot fights in this season, man. So yeah, Jessica, like I mentioned before, was great to see her again, man. That was really cool to see her, man. I was kind of hoping maybe with her, like we would see some of the other defenders this season, man, which we don't really. It's mostly just Jessica. But it was cool to see her nonetheless. Now, obviously, we have the confirmation for Season 3 that both Iron Fist and Luke Cage will both be returning in Season 3, man. We had set photos leaked, which I legit thought when I first saw the set photos for Season 3, I thought those were AI because you guys remember there was like a huge thing with AI leaked set photo for Avengers Doomsday, Secret Wars, and like how perfectly well shot it was, how close it was. It felt almost like a too perfect shot, so I just assumed it was AI. But from everything I saw, man, of course, obviously, Luke's actor would confirm on his Twitter, on his Instagram, basically showing us some more set photos of him wearing the suit, that yes, they were legit. I don't know how someone got that close to get that good of a photo, but hey, to the power to him, man, because it looked amazing. But yeah. So it's kind of hard to talk about this series because there's so much about this show that I want to talk about, but I really can't get too deep into spoilers here, man. But yeah, I liked how they're finally doing something with Cole North. You guys may remember I was like excited when it was announced that he was going to be in the show, and I was intrigued to be like, okay, let's see what the show does with it. And then for season 1, they hadn't really done anything. Season 2, they also hadn't really done nothing with him. It wasn't until this final episode for season 2 where they're finally doing something with him, and I'm happy to see him, man. But like, I don't know why it took 2 seasons for you guys to do something with it, especially given how you completely changed his characterization from how it was in Chip's run. But, you know, hopefully they make it worth our while in the next coming weeks for the film, man, when it properly, you know, releases. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Anyway, trying to think if there's anything else I can talk about without getting into spoilers or my negatives for the season at the current moment. Yeah, the fights. Oh, the music was really good, man. There's like this one scene where Fist comes in and they swear we're playing like this epic music. It's fucking awesome. There's another scene as well with Fist where they play like where him and Matt fight for a bit, and they play like this like really cool opera music that's apparently from season 1, actually, from the soundtrack. But yeah, that was pretty hyped as well, man. The Shadowland costume is obviously really cool, man. I did find it interesting that they actually, as the series progresses, you see the black paint start to come off more and more of the red starts to peek through. I was a bit annoyed that scene in the trailer we saw where he's like actually spray paint the suit and we see him put on the double Ds isn't in the actual season, like at all. It's just there, which is really annoying. I was kind of looking forward to seeing that scene full in the trailer and how why he went with black, how he even dye this, how he even spray paint the suit black. But none of that is ever actually shown, which is really annoying. But yeah. So yeah, I think that's about everything I can think of without getting into spoilers, man, that I want to talk about. I'm sure I'm missing something. It's 1 a.m. I'm recording this video, man. It's very late, so there's a good chance I'm forgetting something. For as far as negatives with the show, man, first of all, man, Heather is completely pointless. It's like, I wasn't that big on her in season 1 at all, and here they do really nothing with her, and what they do with her I have zero interest in at all in her storyline. Like, basically all she does is we see her suffering from like PTSD seemingly or something along those lines after the event of the whole thing with Muse. And I just didn't find it interesting, man. Every time she was on screen, I was just waiting for them to cut to someone else. I felt like it was just wasting time. And honestly, I don't even know why she stuck around with the show, man. She's not interesting. I had zero interest in this. And, like, hopefully for season 3, they finally ditch her. They'll give it in the way it ends. Maybe they're planning on doing something big with her or something. I don't know. But I just was not a fan of that at all with what they did with Heather. Let me see what else. Like I mentioned the suit, how I wish that we actually got to see that was cut from, that was in the trailers, but cut from the actual series. And yeah, I think it's about everything I want to talk about before we get into the spoiler discussion. So anyway, guys, overall my final verdict for season 2 is going to be a 10 out of fucking 10, ladies and gentlemen. As always, you know, this is when we get spoilers, guys, so if you guys do not want to get spoiled. First off, let's talk about Luke Cage. So, we end the season now. You guys remember, like I mentioned earlier, we had the set photos leak for season 3 confirming that both Iron Fist and Luke Cage are finally going to be returning in Born Again season 3. So because of that, I was kind of hoping that they would get cameos or like something, a reference, something to set up season 3. And we ended up partially getting that when Luke Cage makes a return, which you guys may remember around the time, I want to say this might have been like when Jessica got confirmed to be in the season, or there were rumors about Jessica being in the season, something along those lines about that. And you know, you guys remember Luke's actor on Instagram and either posted on his story or made post that he was in New York. So I felt like, oh, and then I remember that when I was watching like the last couple of episodes, I was like, oh, I wonder if that means like Luke is actually, and with season 3, I thought like, oh, I wonder if Luke's actually going to be in the season at all. And he was, and it was so good to see him again, man. You guys know how much I love Luke Cage. Luke Cage season 2 is my favorite of the Netflix seasons, man. Me personally, I love Luke Cage, and I was so happy to see him once again. There was unfortunately no Marvin, or Malcolm rather, excuse me. Malcolm did not make an appearance. We saw Jessica, we saw her daughter with Luke. They mentioned Luke was like out of the country or whatever doing some other stuff, but no Malcolm. We see aliens and investigations, but Malcolm is nowhere to be seen, unfortunately. Hopefully in season 3, we'll get to see Malcolm return finally. But yeah, it was great to see Luke again, man. He looks great, man, and yeah, I was just happy to see Luke again. No Iron Fist, unfortunately, but I guess that's what season 3 is going to be for. So you have that, man. Then, of course, you got the big one. One of the big reveals with this season, man, was Vanessa's death. Oh my God, what an episode that was! And like I mentioned earlier in the review, give Vincent D'Onofrio a fucking Emmy, man. Like his performance when like Vanessa had seemingly recovered from being like stabbed in the head or whatever with like that crystal, that bullseye thrown at her. She seemed to have been recovered, all was good, and like, can I help you? Can I get you something to drink or something? And like Vincent's performance, man, was incredible, man. Like I said, give that man an Emmy for that one scene alone. He was incredible. You also have that one fight with him and Daredevil near like the second to last episode, I think it was, with like the epic music from season 1 that was playing in like the underground area where in like the bunker he's in that has the painting from season 3 in there. That was really cool, man. Obviously, the big reveal in the final episode where Matt reveals that he is in fact Daredevil was fucking insane, man. But one thing we have to talk about is the Foggy episode. Now, you guys remember that pretty much like right after season 1 had started airing, it like immediately got announced that Foggy was going to be in season 2. It had gotten confirmed about that. And now I thought they meant like, oh, they're going to resurrect him. And that's when we're going to find out he's actually not dead, because people are pointing out this is taken from the comics, and this is all, that Fog, and that he faked his death or something, and that was all Vanessa's idea or something like that. And this is all apparently written from a Daredevil comic where Foggy had faked his death or whatever. So I thought it was like that. But no, we got something that's arguably way cooler than Foggy being resurrected. We got an episode that felt like season 1 Daredevil. And I don't mean it felt like it looked like it. Like, I legit was watching that episode, and I couldn't tell whether I was watching, just reuse footage from season 1 or new footage that looked like season 1. I don't know if they brought back any of the DPs or directors from season 1 for that episode, but it looked exactly like season 1 of Daredevil. It was honestly impressive when I was watching that episode, and we got all those flashback scenes between Matt and Foggy, and it looked like Daredevil season 1. It was truly a feast for the eyes, man. That was easily one of my favorite episodes of the season. So yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to. I already mentioned Cole, where he seems to turn on the task force, which I'm like, okay, finally we're getting somewhere with him. Good. Heather seemingly is going to turn to Muse, take over the mantle of Muse, because we end the season with her putting the mask on. Like I said, I'm not interested in her character. We see Tigra, the daughter, has taken over the role permanently. Like I said, we got Iron Fist and Luke Cage down the pipeline for season 3. Hopefully, Cloak and Dagger won't be far behind as well. We'll get to see them in this series as well. Spider-Man seems like it's a no-go because of like the laws, because of the whole rights things with Sony and whatnot, man. So, I don't know. Hopefully, maybe they can come to some sort of agreement, because I would love to see Spidey and Daredevil, or, put Daredevil in, Brand New Day. We'll have to wait and see whichever one we get first. Yeah, I think that's about everything I want to talk about from the major. Like I said, it's very late right now. There's a good chance I'm forgetting something, but I think I took care of most. Oh, yeah, right. I almost forgot about, what the hell was his name again? What was the fat kid's name? I forgot I'm already slipping on his name. Daniel dies. Yeah, Daniel's death. Like I said, that episode. One thing I mentioned how I liked they actually really focused on his character and like made his arc and made his plot, his like subplots got me very invested in them. Was the fact that they focused on his relationship with BB, where BB uses him basically as a source, and eventually, like I said, with him working the Kidman, he realizes that he slowly starts to realize how much deep shit he's truly in working with them, to the point that they had to cut up a body or something near the end where he thought he was going to kill him instead with all the tools he was getting, and then eventually does end up killing him anyway in like the second to last episode, I think. So, yeah, that whole sequence, man, that whole episode, man, was phenomenal work, man. Shout out to Michael as well. He was great in that episode as well. And the whole final episode where the people of New York revolt and they're wearing Daredevil masks, very much like Chips the Darksman, which I think at this point places up as at the halfway point, I want to say, for the first half of Chip Zdarsky's run before he went to the fully on with the hand stuff, and Matt had a beer with Electro. That shit, like, I know a lot of people were not super high on that one, and understand, like, I will definitely agree, the first half of Chip Zdarsky's run is better than the second half, but the second half was fucking cool in its own right, but the first half, man, that was a generational run. Like, I would say part 2 as well, but like part 1 especially, that was something incredible. But that was pretty cool to see that kind of whole sequence where people of New York had revolted against Fisk or whatever, and they were working together to take down, like, I think it was like some other random supervillains that were on the rise, like Bullseye, Crossbow or something, or Crossbone or someone, or a bunch of other villains as well. That was really fucking cool, man. Though when Fisk up, though, those people, they realized they were not built for this. When Fisk took the gloves off, he was like, "Fuck this shit." After everything happened with Maverick revealing himself as Daredevil, and just started killing all these random civilians, just one by one. But then again, the civilians end up getting the numbers on them during the last bit of the episode, when there's a bunch of them, and right when they're with Matt, and they finally have the thing, and then Matt finally convinces him to to go into exile, which makes me wonder what's going to be with season 3. I don't know if they're going to have another villain take over for season 3, or somehow, some way, Fisk finds his way back to New York and says, "Fuck this, I'm taking over the city again," or something. We'll have to wait and see on that, ladies and gentlemen, how that ends up working out. But yeah, that was fucking insane, and that was pretty cool to see. Like I said, it wasn't like 1-to-1 exactly how Chip Zdarsky's run handled it, but it was obviously, that's what it was based off of, man, and it was really cool to see it regardless, man. It was really well directed. That final episode was phenomenally directed, man, I must say. So yeah, that was pretty cool to see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but I think I got everything. Oh yeah, Matt also goes to prison once again, taken from Chip Zdarsky's run, though this time it seems he doesn't have like the prison mask thing like he had in the book, but maybe he might get that later. In season 3, we'll see him wearing that mask, or maybe he's just wearing his normal glasses. We'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, that was pretty cool to see some of the more high-profile and iconic moments from Chip Zdarsky's run get adapted this season, man. That was pretty fucking cool. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I've rambled on long enough. It's almost 1:30. I am tired. I want to go to sleep. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me so you feel like it. Links are trust below, and as always, back for more. See you guys next time.